Hey guys, what I want to do today is run through the log test we took. There were lots of little mistakes and I kind of didn't have time in class to go over it, so I'd like to go over it now. Um, Biggest hit everyone took was on the first question. Most of you started it right. You did your let statement. So we're going to do let y equals natural log x. So then what we do is we do y squared plus 10y plus 21 equals 0. I think everybody did that. Then you guys factored it beautifully. And then you guys all got two answers. Y equals -7, y equals -3. Then what we had to do is bring back in our let statement. The natural log of x equals -7. The natural log of x equals -3. And this is where the error occurred. I would say 95% of you crossed these two out and said no solution. These have solutions. This is, guys, this is Ben. This is, if you have one log, you always make Ben. What you guys wanted to do was, if you have this, the natural log with a -7 next to it, this doesn't exist. But these guys have little bases of e. So this becomes e to the -7 equals x, e to the -3 equals x, and then we go to our calculators. Turn it on here. Let me brighten it up a little bit. So we do e to the -7, and you get this mess. The -4 at the end means scientific notation, so you move your decimal point 3 places, which makes x equals 0.0009. And since I want it rounded to the nearest thousandth, you'd give me 0.001. So that should have been that guy. And then this guy, e to the -3, becomes 0.050. So that's how you should have done that first one there. All right, now let's move on to the next one. First off, in this one, this is 3 to the x, this is a 9. So what you should have done here is made this 3 squared x minus 15 equals 0. And then by commutative property, you can just flip-flop these like that. And then we're going to write our let statement. Let y equal 3 to the x. So this becomes y squared minus 2y minus 15 equals 0. Factors into y minus 5, y plus 3. So this is y equals 5, y equals -3. So now we bring our let statement back in. We get 3 to the x equals 5. 3 to the x equals -3. So now we have to solve for these, so we're going to log it. X log 3 equals 5. Oops, log 5. Divide both sides by log 3. X equals, so we go to our calculator, log 5 divided by log 3. And I wanted it rounded to nearest hundredth, so 1.46. Now we do this one. X log 3 equals log -3. That's the bad log. You can't have a -3 in that location. So this guy's going to reject. This one was very good on the quiz. Again, it was this one back up in here that was a mess. This one was hit or miss. Either you were perfect at it or you totally butchered it. The relationship between the relative size, the energy released or strength of an earthquake S, and the measure of the earthquake on the Richter scale R is given by this equation. So I'm going to write down log S equals R. In 1906, so I'm going to write down 1906, the San Francisco earthquake, which destroyed the city, is estimated to measure 8.25 on the Richter scale. Richter scale is the R. So that means we're going to write log S equals 8.25. In 1989, it measured 6.9 on the Richter scale. That's R. So log S equals 6.9. How much larger was the relative size of this guy compared to this guy? All right, well, just like back up in here, if you have a log, we need to bend it. Except this time, the base is 10. So you should have done 10 to the 8.25 equals S, and you go to your calculator. Clear that. 10 raised to the 8.25, which is that guy. So I'm going to leave that on my screen. 177,827,941. And then I'm going to do the other guy, which is 10 raised to the 6.9. That guy. So this will be 10 to the 6.9 equals S, which is 794,3282.347. Well, how much larger is it? Well, take the bigger guy, subtract away the smaller guy. So we're going to do 177,827,941 minus the last thing I got. And that's how much bigger it is, this guy. So now I'm going to write down what I did. So I'm going to do 177,827,941 minus this guy. Equals 1698865. And that would have been the answer right there. You could have also, if you wanted to do it, some people did this guy divided by this guy, and I think it was like 22 times larger. So you could have done it that way too. All right, next one. You have an opportunity to invest your money in a bank that offers annual interest rate compounded continuously. As soon as you see that word, you're writing down PERT. That's the only way to do this question. How long to the nearest 100 will it take you to double your money? Well, do we know how much we're starting with? Nope. So let's say we start off with $1. E, the interest rate is 0.08. I don't know how long it's going to take, but if I want to double my money, I want to end up with 2. All right, so this is just one. Some of you did this. You divided by 1, which you don't need to do because 1 times anything is itself. Then we're going to log it, but we're going to natural log it because there's an E in it. So you do the natural log of 2 equals 0.08t natural log of E. And the natural log of E is just the number 1. So I can just do this. Then divide by 0.08. So then I do the natural log of 2 divided by 0.08. And I want it to the nearest hundredth, so it's 8.66. That's that. All right, next one. The number of tigers in the wild is represented by this guy, where T is the number of years from today. State everything you know about the tigers. Well, today, there are 208 tigers in the wild. Oh, someone's calling me. Let me turn that off. All right, now what else do we got here? Then we've got our parenthesis. The number of tigers are decreasing. I know that because the number within the parenthesis is less than 1, so the base is less than 1. And I need to know by what percent it's decreasing. So we know by its distance from the number 1. So if I do 1 minus 0.82, I get 0.18. That means the number of tigers are decreasing by 18% each year. So that would have been the best answer there. All right, on the back. All right, first off, on the back I had my boo-boo, so we have to fix that. And then we'll go back and see what it says. Phoebe deposits $300 into an account that offers 4.5% interest rate. So the original amount, guys, is always your P. So right off the bat, I know at least the P is going to be $300. R is always the percent, but you got to change it into a decimal first. So right away, I can do at least that much. Offers an investment with this formula where the rate is compounded n times per year for t years. So it's based on years. How much to the nearest dollar will Phoebe have in the account after 36 months if the interest is compounded monthly? Guys, compounded is n. Monthly is 12 times. So every time you see the letter n, you got to put 12. Now, t needs to be in years. See the t's right there? Well, we have 36 months. That would be 3 years. So you should have put times 3. So this is equal to 300. Now, if you wanted to know what that parenthesis would be, it's 1 plus 0.045 divided by 12. Oops. What did I do? 1 plus 0.045 divided by 12. And there we go. 1.00375 to the 36. And then all we have to do now is type that in, and I want it to the nearest dollar, so it's $343. And that's it. Some of you went all over the place. Look how simple that question was. Some of you had ones under here. Some of you had 36 over here. Anything that comes after the word compounded. So if that was daily, you would have put 365 here. If it had said hourly, well, hourly is a bad choice, but quarterly, that would have been 4. Weekly, that would have been 52. So monthly is 12. Okay, next one. If this continues, if this interest continues to be compounded monthly to the nearest tenth of a year, we shall have 800. So you should have just taken your equation that we just did here. It's still going to be 12. We just don't know how long it's going to take. Divide both sides by 300. You always divide out by what's in front of the parentheses. I must have said that 500 million times, it felt like. 800 divided by 300, so it's 2.6 repeating, equals 1.00375 to the 12t. Now we're going to log it. So log of 2.6 repeating equals 12t log 1.00375. Divide by the log. So I get 12t equals. Now, I'm going to do log of answer, because we want to get all those 0.6's, divided by log 1.0035. So I get 280.7270585. Going to divide that by 12. Did I divide by the wrong thing? I feel like we're off. 1.00. Oh, I thought so. So it's log 2.66666, a bunch. There we go. So we get 26.64. No, wait. Divided by log 1.00375. There we go, 2.260. See what happens when you don't type in correctly in your calculator? Divide that by 12, and there's the answer, 21.8. All right, next one. You guys are all over the map on this one too. All right. After sitting out of the refrigerator for a while, a turkey at room temperature, 68 degrees, is placed into an oven at 8 a.m. When the oven temperature is 325, Newton's law of heating explains that the temperature of the turkey will increase proportionally to the difference between the temperature of the turkey and the temperature of the oven. All right. TA is the temperature of the surrounding object. Guys, well, when you put the turkey into the oven is the surrounding object. So that's going to be 325. The initial temperature of the object is the temperature of the turkey when you stick it in the oven. So that's 68. All right. So let's take a look at this now. The turkey reaches the temperature of 100 degrees after 2 hours. Find what K is. So we're going to take the equation. So we want to know when the turkey is going to reach 100. TA is 325 plus 68 minus 325. E, some of you totally left off the E when you did this. Negative K, and we're plugging in 2. So I get 100 equals 325. I'm going to do 68 minus 325 is negative 257 e to the negative 2k. Now, the biggest mistake some of you made was combining these two. You cannot do that. This guy is touching him. These guys are stuck together. So what you should have done is subtracted over, and this was probably the biggest mistake. You had to subtract that over first. Negative 225 equals negative 257 e to the negative 2k. Then you divide off the negative 257. So let's see if I can type things into my calculator correctly. Negative 225 divided by negative 257 is that guy. I got 0.8754863813 equals e to the negative 2k. And now I'm going to natural log it. I'm just going to do this. Remember, the natural log of e is 1. Equals negative 2k. So now I just got to divide by negative 2. So I got the natural log, wrong one, natural log of answer divided by negative 2. So k is 0.066. That time I typed it into my calculator rate. All right, last question. Using that equation from part A, determine the Fahrenheit of the turkey at 3 p.m. All right, well, we want to find the temperature. So we know we have 325 plus negative 257 E. Now we know we have K, keep the negative. K is 0.066. Now we need to know what time it is. We put it in the oven at 8 a.m. It's now 3 p.m. Well, how many hours is that? 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. It's 7 hours later. So you put a 7 in there. And then, guys, all we have to do is type that in our calculators. Let me clear all this out. 325 plus negative 257 e to the negative 0.066 times 7. Bam! 163 degrees. That's all you had to do for that one. All right. So despite my random unable to type anything in the calculator here, that's how you handle the log test. There you go.